So for fish, basically, you have to manage it with just like controlling the water quality, controlling the dissolved oxygen, and then also making sure that you don't overstock, and then also making sure that also you stock the right species for the certain region that you're in.
Welcome our dearest viewers for this wonderful episode of the EduTech with me, Henry Mdenda. We are here at Greenfield College where we need to learn more about fish. You know, many of us will just see fish grow. We don't know and we don't understand the process. But guess what? I have a gentleman that will help us, giving us more insight on the fish, ranging from the breeding process through up to the market stage. Join me as we sit down with him and we hear the discussion. Join me on the other side.
I'm the aquaculture manager here. So here aquaculture is basically I manage the fish, like rearing fish, keeping fish in a controlled environment. So on our facilities we've got portable tanks, concrete tanks that we use, and we also have got a mini hatchery that we also produce our own fingerlings that we can also provide nearby local farmers or even supply to neighboring towns.
Greenfield College is an institution which is accredited by TVETA, and here we offer a number of programs that are designed to equip our students with the skills that will help them succeed. We also have a farm and also some fish ponds and a lab where our students do some practicals.
So this is our demo hatchery. So it's a greenhouse setup that we have. So this is where we bring our fry after we do the collection, and also where we do the fertilization and also the incubation for the catfish eggs. So this is our form of recirculation system. So here we've got the recirculation system, which is basically we use the same water. So we water running 24/7, and then we've got our mechanical filter there and biological filter. So in here we've got the tilapia fry, smaller ones. So in here they're only 2 days old at currently. And then they're very small. You have to just, if you gaze really easy, you can see like this poor fish here really moving around just there. The smaller ones. Here we've got the tilapia and the catfish. So the tilapia is mainly the breams that you know, and then the catfish is the local name, the mulamba. For fish, we use what we call a closed environment. So a closed environment, we're talking about ponds, we're talking about tanks, we're talking about cages. So with ponds, you can have what is called an intensive setup or even extensive setup. So for fish, basically, you have to manage it with just like controlling the water quality, controlling the dissolved oxygen, and then also making sure that you don't overstock, and then also making sure that also you stock the right species for the certain region that you're in. Okay, so for our portable tank over here that we have, so this is where we do our open water breeding. So in here we've got our tilapia that we breed. So we mainly pair them at a ratio of 1 to 2. So in this happening it's the 7 males and 14 females. It's the ratio of 1 to 2. Yeah. So from here now we pair them and we give them a few number of days for them to do the mating ritual, and then after 14 days we come and collect the fry. So we collect the fry and then we transfer them to the size section. So this very tank itself can also be used as a grow-out system. So once I've got the fingerlings, you can actually remove these guys, or have set up another one and then you stock. So like for this size that you have, this one is it's a 5 by 8 that we have, and then so many in this one you can stock up even about 500 pieces of fish. That's on a normal stocking density of 5 to 7 fish per meter square, and then you can be doing the management. So once you set up a fish, you can be doing the water change every after 7 days. Yeah, you do water quality test, you check the turbidity, you check the oxygen level, the devices that we use for all those purposes. That you use it for treatment, so it's more like a treatment base. So we put the coastal in here. So during the cold season, you find that most of the fish are developing a form of fungal. So for you to beat up the fungal and also just to control the infection, so you put coastal. So you usually put this close in the 4 corners of the harper net, so that once you put the coastal and then it starts dissolving, and then it's going into the water and then it's treating the fish. So we do the demos and the production on a yearly basis. So the greenhouse helps us to regulate the temperature, so it keeps in the heat. Yeah, so it's basically helping us regulate temperature, but it warms up the environment, because smaller fish, the temperature is optimum temperature is in between 25 and 28 degrees. So once it drops to that, you see that you start facing mortalities. So the greenhouse really helps with that, securing that reduce on mortalities and also just have faster growth. Currently, we can't say which one is best for Zambia, but we've got regulations due to our Fisheries Act. So like we've got provinces where some species are not allowed, some are allowed in some species. So like from Lusaka all up to way to southern, we've got like the Niloticus has dominated like the area. And it's a fast growing fish. It's very good, and then it's also disease resistance. But when it comes to also local indigenous species, so I've got areas like Northern Province where we've got the macrocha. I've got areas like Solwezi where we've got the red-breasted bream, the Wengali, and also the Andasonai. So like for the species mainly, so it's all about the area, but all the species are okay. On the feed aspect, you can even just start like natural. So naturally, just yourself, what you can do if you're doing an extensive setup. So there's what we call, before you stock your fish, you're supposed to fertilize your fish pond. So fertilizing your fish pond is mainly just you blooming your pond to have what we call phytoplankton. So like phytoplankton is like small plant materials that grow in the pond. So like that's like natural food already for the fish, already in the fish pond without you administering anything. So that also brings up your plankton. So but when you come to feed also, you can either also use readily available materials. So like you can even use like vegetables. There are some areas where it's on a small scale base, or even in a backyard kind of setup. So you can use like vegetables, you can use maize bran, you can use the sunflower cake, like you formulate your own feeds. But like fish feed is there ready on the market. So you can use feeds that we call completed feeds. So these feeds now are basically them now directed to the growth of your fish, because they've been manufactured for the diet and growth for that fish. For fish to be ready, you can start with the tilapia. So with the tilapia, it's basically you get it from your supplier, a good supplier. So you get it at a gram or at least 1 gram and above. So that will take you about 6 to 7 months for you to have a table size, what we call a table size fish. So that ranges in between 200 grams to 300 grams. So it's 6 to 7 months. And then for your catfish, you can also have a fish that's a gram or above, and then you rear that fish. For them, it takes for about 4 to 5 months for you to have a fish that's close to a kg. So looking at the aquaculture sector that has now been booming. So basically, this sector is coming out because it's very sustainable. So like looking at sustainable development goals that we have, looking at like number 1, where we've got no poverty, zero hunger, and then also the one that talks about protein and the water thing. So you look at aquaculture as a way of bringing in a sustainable life and also improving the livelihood of people, whereby they can produce something for themselves. And necessary, even just in a backyard, you can set up something and then start rearing your own fish. Then you looking at going to the river systems, you're on a boat, sometimes it's risky. So now imagine now you've got the means to produce your own fish in your backyard, or you've got the means to produce so much fish on your farm. And then looking at also the protein, so also looking at health here. Fish is very healthy, so even looking at what it can do to improve the livelihoods and the lives of people. So aquaculture is mainly looking at us helping our community be sustainable, provide food where we are lacking. So, and then also from that other to venture from in another direction. So it is also income generating. So aquaculture itself, So once you start rearing the fish are ready, you're able to sell out the fish, and you're going to attain great profits. And then that will also empower you to even start up another business that is aligned to aquaculture. Because looking at how aquaculture is, it can be integrated with the other general agriculture. So you can look at the crop sector. So you can use the aquaculture sector using the water to water your gardens, which has got the nutrients for your garden. Sometimes you even use your plants to feed as supplement feed for your fish. So like aquaculture is broad. So you can even grow up the aspects of you setting up what we call aquaponics. So you can set up a system whereby you've got a recirculation system where now you are growing your fish and your plants in the same system, and which is also very economical on a very small scale, but you're producing large numbers of fish, which is again good for income generation and also good for providing food. So yeah, so like for here on our setup, we do have a hatchery. So we'll start from the hatchery background. So we do have a hatchery. So hatchery is basically we're producing fingerlings that we supply to farmers, and also ourselves, we don't have the need to start buying fingerlings from another source, which will be costly because now we're using money to source out. But if you can produce our own, it's much easier. So like for the fingerlings, it's very income generating because one fingerling costs 1 kwacha. So like for here, we've got a target of producing 20,000 fingerlings in a month. And then we've got clients that come and buy from me 15,000 fingerlings, 10,000 fingerlings, depending just on the demand. So already imagine you're making that kind of money in the space of 6 weeks, 7 weeks, you're making that money. And then you're also producing the fingerlings in that kind of way. And then we'll go to the grow-out sector. So now you've got the grow-out ponds. They're rearing this fish for the next 6 months. So mostly you rear a fish, they're ready for the next 6 months. Let's say you had 1,000 kgs. So 1,000 kgs fish right now is selling at somewhere like 75 to 80 kwacha per kg. If you do the mathematics, you see how much money you're going to generate. And then like for fish, the management, there's nothing like the antibiotics and what. So fish, the management is very easy. Just need a dedicated person who's going to look at just the water quality, and then also just make sure that the feeding is on time, and then everything. It's really just easy. Anybody can do it. With the right training, you come through here, we teach you, and then you'll be well and good. Okay, so behind me you can see there's a garden. So our water that we use for our fish pond usually doesn't go to waste. So we mainly use it for our garden. So the ammonia water is transferred to the garden to provide nutrients for the vegetables and for various crops. So now you set up a more like integrated type of setup. So it's very easy to have aquaculture together with general agriculture. So at least you can boost up your income. So I've got many ventures of businesses running, even on a small piece of land, or even just generally, just like if you're doing agriculture. Yeah, so all these work entwined. So you can even use the same vegetables to feed the fish as supplemental food we feed. So but basically the whole system here is that we use our water also for our gardening, so it just doesn't go to waste.
So some of the programs that we have the School of Agriculture, where we have programs like General Agriculture Science, we have Diploma in Aquaculture, to mention but a few. And then we also have the School of Education, where we have early childhood, primary, secondary teaching education, and also certificate in teaching methodology.
I'm enjoying the courses. I'm very much enjoyable, and the study courses are very flexible. It's not that difficult. When someone talks about agriculture, then you feel that stressful. It's not stressful. It's very easy actually. Very much, yes. I'm encouraging to come and join us, because if one does agriculture, actually, like the course that I am doing, because one, it's a self-sustainable course. It's very marketable actually. You can be either employed in both the government, the private sector, or self-employment.
Here at Greenfield, actually it's very good, and here the place they are very much welcoming here, and just the environment it's very much welcoming. For my people who wants to come here at Greenfield, I would encourage them to come here at Greenfield because they have flexible modes of payment and fair fees.
Apart from that, we also have the School of Business Studies, where we have programs like certificate in transport and logistics, certificate in business administration. And then we also have the School of Engineering and Technology, where we have programs like craft certificates, also a diploma in electrical engineering, and then we also have plumbing. So it's not only about the theory part, but also the practical part.